More now on today's major protest by farmers in Westminster. Paul is here to talk us through some of the numbers. Morning.
Morning. Inheritance tax.
Yes.
Nobody likes it.
No.
Until now, not something farmers have had to worry about. So let's have a little look at why.
Please.
They benefit currently from two reliefs, as they know. 100% tax relief on two categories that apply to farming. Agricultural property relief, pretty self-explanatory. Land, farm buildings, woodland, perhaps. And business property relief, which includes crops, livestock, machinery, crucially, holiday lets that you've converted from cottages and the like. And when you pass on an estate, you can claim all of that completely inheritance tax-free. Rachel Reeves wants to change that, as we know. She'll give some thresholds, some relief to a certain level. Everybody will get £1 million. That can go up to £1.5 million because we all get around £500,000 of inheritance tax relief.
Right.
If a couple that's married are passing on a farm, it could be,
up to,
if it's exactly right, £3 million. Above that, they'll pay 20%, so half the normal rate, and they'll have 10 years to pay it. Now, the government says this is going to affect a very small number of farms, maybe a quarter of properties and just a few hundred a year. Now, where do they get that number from? There are a lot of numbers here, but don't panic. Agricultural property relief, these are actual claims from estates that were passed on in 2021, and they're banded by the value of the estate. So we can work out roughly where the inheritance tax might fall. We're looking at above £1 million. Yeah. And if you add up those bottom three columns, you get to this, just 462 claims in a year. So that's actual deaths and estates.
Seems fair.
It seems fair, but that's the number of actual claims. It's not the number of farms that might be exposed. And the National Farmers Union say this number is way too low. And they use different figures, also government figures. Let's take a look at these. These are from the Department of Environment. This is the proportion of farms by size of the estate. Look, 10% less than £250,000. Look at that black bar at your end.
Yeah.
Nearly half are worth more than £1.5 million.
Yeah.
So they are potentially exposed. And the challenge for farmers, as you've been hearing all morning, is while they might be asset rich, remember those reliefs, we've got the land, but once you add in the machinery, £250,000 for a combine harvester, etc., you can quickly get above £1.5 million, so you're asset rich, but they are cash poor. So even if you've got 10 years to pay £20,000 a year, where's that money going to come from? Look at this. This is really chastening, I think. This is farm business income. This is for cropping farms, so horticulture, cereals and the like. Over the last 3 years, look, last year, nearly £100,000 was the average income, not profit, money coming through the door. Look at last year, less than £50,000. It's been a dreadful year on the farm. You're only bringing in less than £50,000 on average through the door before you account for a profit. And you've got a big tax bill annually, you've got to think, where is that money going to come from? And that is where, without tax planning, there are ways around this. You can pass estates on 7 years early, you can get life insurance. But that's why some farmers are saying they're going to have no choice but to sell land to pay the tax man. And that is the threat to the multi-generational family farm passing down through the generation.
Goodness, and that's why the farmers are protesting.
And that is why
today.
they're in London today.
Yeah.
They've got the fields of the streets in numbers.